So in the previous video, I'd set up tiled with a mymap.tmx and a tile set embedded in the map, and I'd drawn this super amazing level with two layers. You recall I've got a walls layer. I'll hide the others. There's my walls layer, and I've got a lava layer. And what we're going to do is we're going to where are we? Here we go. I've actually got this set up and running so that I've got my playable character running around my little level. We're just the walls at the moment. I'm going to come to the lava in a moment. So let's have a quick look at what's going on here. I've repurposed a bunch of stuff from the Python Arcade examples, of course. I've tried to simplify it a bit, cut out a bunch of stuff that I thought was just a bit confusing. This is available to you probably on Google Classroom, I think. Let's quickly go through some of the things which are different from before that are relevant. A couple of key things. Remember, I've been banging on about it being 128 pixels and all the rest of it. It just seems easier to work with if you stick with the defaults. We can fiddle around with these in the future, but right now all of this lot, let's just leave it alone and work with the size that we've got. These are things that we'd be familiar with from before. This is to do with scrolling. Let me go down to the update window and I'll show you what's going on there. There's a bunch of code which I have taken from them and not touched, which is this managed scrolling, which means that as we play the game, the window kind of moves around with the player. So it's just directly copied from them. I haven't touched it. It's not that hard to understand if you're interested in that. It's just a matter of setting the viewport for the window and working out the boundaries of the viewport. But hey, it works. Let's leave it alone for the moment. Everything else we're used to how movement is managed with these key press events. We're used to drawing things. We're used to setting up a player. The thing that is new is we've got this here, which is reading in the map and then processing it as a sprite list. So you can see self.wall_list is arcade.spritelist. We're used to that. But instead of individually appending sprites into that list, we're saying arcade.tilemap.processLayer, and the layer we're processing comes from this mymap.tmx, which is what I called it, and I saved it in the folder that this file is actually in. And I specified a layer name, walls. Just to recap, walls. Good. I've also made I've used their physics engine to make it do a platformer thing. And we've seen how that works. If I just run it again, we've got a very platformery kind of way of behaving. Jump, left, right, etc. and gravity. And you can see the viewport thing, the viewport moving around with the player. That's quite straightforward, really, isn't it? It's when you take away all of the noise that is around that. So let's just extend that just to really make sure we understand it by doing the same with lava. So I'm just going to do some copy and paste, Control-C and Control-V, and it's going to be self.lava_list, and I've read in the map once, so I don't need to read it in again, but I'm going to copy this line and Control-C and Control-V, and self.lava_list equals process layer lava, which is lava, and everything else we're just going to leave alone. Cool, that was easy, wasn't it? So we've got a wall list, we've got a lava list. We're not going to do physics on the lava because the lava is just going to kill you straight away. And in fact, why don't we just we've done something, we should run it and check that it works before we do the next thing, which is I want it to be that the lava kills us, which I'm going to do very bluntly. So we'll go over here. Have we got lava? I forgot to draw the lava, didn't I? So self.lava_list.draw. Once more with feeling. Let's run that. I'm ready. Here it is. So lava should be over here. There it is. It does nothing at the moment. I just fall through it because it's not part of the physics engine. See, the physics engine is just the player sprite and the wall list. So now I make life easy for myself. I'm just going to copy and paste this stuff to do with check for collisions and modify it to my purpose. So down in def on update, where is on update? Here we are. So I've got move the player, manage scrolling right here. I'm going to put I've got it as check for bomb hits. I'm just going to call this section lava. It's good to label what you're doing as you go along. Hit list, check for collision, self.player sprite with self.lava list. And if len hit list is greater than 0, I had this set up with game over and so on. I'm going to be more brutal than that. I'm going to say self.player sprite self. Autocomplete for me, please. Self.player sprite dot remove from sprite list. I'm pretty sure that is incorrect. I know there is something like that though. You can just say just delete the player. Obviously we would do something a bit more sophisticated than this. I'm also going to put a print statement in there. I think that line should just crash it, which is useful in itself. There we go. We can have a print statement, it will appear down here. So Control S, Alt Shift F5, and see if this works. Okay, so I'll go over here. These aren't killing me, but when I land on the lava, it did remove me from the sprite lists. But somehow, I don't know. Doesn't matter. It says I'm dead. I'll take that as done. Alright, so that was importing the map. So I feel like, given that, we can actually do a half decent job of doing some level design, particularly now that we're able to scroll around, have the window follow the player. Alright, hope that's going to work out.